Australia has a biblical housing crisis right now that's been exacerbated by the high migration numbers over the last couple of years on the back of all the COVID supply issues that the country's had, and the fact that we've got a generation of kids that we've not been able to get through apprenticeships, as well as an older generation of tradesmen that are leaving the industry. All of this has also been amplified by state and federal governments fucking around with the building codes and making things even harder to comply with, which means that we've got a regulatory body now that's just hammering the building industry. We've seen over 3,000 building companies collapse in the last 18 months in Australia, as well as untold collapses of small business in general. The federal government has finally announced some adjustments to its skilled migration visa, but this doesn't mean that we're going to be able to turn the tap on and just bring 1,000 carpenters in or 1,000 plumbers in. There are some really impressive limitations that federal government has put on those visas, meaning that guys that are well paid in Western countries, like an electrician from Canada, for example, will not comply with the migration requirements to bring his trade from Canada to Australia. Neither will most of the trades in the UK, Canada, the US, or New Zealand. What this is about is bringing in very, very low-skilled tradesmen, they call them, from the subcontinent. And of course, the problem with bringing in those trades from these other countries is that they don't get off the boat, the plane here, and they're instantly qualified. They have to do and undertake a significant amount of retraining and reskilling to be suitable for the Australian building industry. And that can take anywhere from a year to 2 years. So it's not like you've got tradesmen straight up. You might have warm bodies that can basically lift shit, but they're just glorified labourers on site. They're not qualified tradesmen. So how do we really use them? The Australian housing crisis is going to reach a level that is going to blow your mind. You are going to see an increase in homelessness in Australia of up to 50% over the next 18 months to 2 years. Now, people have said to me that that's ridiculous, that the government's going to solve the problems. Have a look at Canada. Have a look at Canada. Canada is literally 2 to 3 years ahead of where we are right now, and they've just cancelled and shut off all of their migration. They're not going to let any immigrants in unless there's special circumstances for the next 2 years to allow their country to catch up. And that's because their number of homeless has increased by 40% in the last 18 months. We are just a few years behind the Canadian failed social experiment.